Hey guys, it has been a really long time since I've actually sat down and filmed a video. I just really wanted to take a break, and there wasn't really anything that I was filming that I really felt passionate about, so I wanted to take a step back, and so that's why I really haven't been on here that much. I did recently post a video where I went hiking in Bryce Canyon National Park and Zion National Park, and I'm going to do another one of those. I'm actually going to Canyonlands and Arches next week, so I will definitely vlog that too. But as far as my weight loss journey and anything in relation to that, I haven't really posted anything about it in a long time, so I thought I would come on here and kind of share with you guys where I'm at now compared to where I was a couple months ago. So I'm sitting on my bed. This isn't exactly sturdy when it comes to the camera, but whatever. I decorated for fall, and I love it. This is my headboard. Anyway, so a lot has changed. So if you've been following my channel since January, when I pretty much started this, I was on WW and I quit. So basically, starting in January, every week I would post a weekly weigh-in video. I did that every single week. I brought you along, I vlogged my life, and I showed you everything I do in a day, and I was getting frustrated. And I'm just gonna just be completely honest with you that it was really hard when I couldn't lose any weight. Like, I kept tracking my food. I was bringing you along every week and nothing was happening, and you guys saw it all. Literally, those videos are all still up. So from like January to, I don't even know, June, I was doing these weekly videos and all I could do was gain weight, and it was very frustrating for me. And then I started feeling like I was spending all of my time editing these videos and I couldn't even lose the weight, and it just felt like a chore, and so I stopped doing it. So once the pandemic hit, I started working from home permanently. I'm still at home, so I've been at home since March 16th, and I'm gonna be at home until 2021. So really, I had all this time to really focus on my journey and figure out what's going on. Obviously, the pandemic and being in quarantine has a huge effect on everyone as far as mental state goes, and there are always going to be those challenges. But one thing I really wanted to focus on was stay motivated in my weight loss journey and my workouts. So I probably have mentioned this before, but I used to be an athlete and I used to work out all the time. Like all the time. Obviously, being an athlete, you know, you do 2 or 3 days and it just consumes your entire life. And then once that was over, I kind of didn't know how to adjust to that and not having that schedule, and so I stopped working out. To give you kind of a timeline of my life, I graduated college 5 years ago. It's been actually 6 years since volleyball seasons are in the fall. 6 years since I played at the collegiate level. So really, it's been 6 years without working out. I just fell into this really bad mental place where I could never find the motivation to work out. And it's something I've been wanting to work on for a long time, and finally it happened when I started focusing on ways to stay active while being at home in March. So in March, I started doing pop sugar workouts, which I know I've posted videos about that and everything, and you should watch them. But doing that made me like realize that I could still get these really tough workouts in without equipment if I didn't want to do one with equipment, but I also do have dumbbells and stuff for strength training. But I had the option, and I could all do this from the comfort of my own home. And so once I realized that and I started doing that, I canceled my gym membership, started doing that, working out every day. In the beginning, when my sister was working at home, we would do it together, but then I continued doing it when she couldn't do it anymore, so I continued to work out every day. And actually, right before this video, I was looking at my Apple Watch history on my phone, and you can see like when you record workouts. And from June 2019 to January 2020, there was no workouts. Not a single one. And so, I mean, that goes to show that's a long time. It's like 7 months of no workouts. So, that is crazy to me, like looking back on that, because I just looked from March to today, September 1st, I have worked out 100 times. 100 times. That's crazy, you guys. I've come a long way. I've been working out consistently, very hard, every day, like dripping in sweat. I've been challenging myself so much the past couple months. So that is something I'm very proud of, and I wanted to talk about because that's a big deal for me when I just know where I was a year ago, literally sitting here every day doing literally nothing. And so now I get workouts in all the time, daily, usually, depending, life happens. I don't always get one in every day, but that was like a huge thing for this journey. So since I started working out a lot more, I realized with being on WW, I was not consuming enough food. I was clearly like just starving myself. There was just not enough food going into my body for WW. And, I'm a broken record here, but I have nothing against the program. If it works for you, it works for you. I support literally any program that works for you. But I'm just going to tell you about what I did and what my journey is and why. So, I was getting frustrated with WW. Just felt very unmotivated. Nothing was working. So then I quit. Okay, and I made a whole video on that. You can go and watch that if you want, but I'm not going to go into details. But that was pretty much the sum of it all. But once I quit, I was like, you know what, I'm going to start tracking macros. It seems more realistic to my life. It seems more of a lifestyle change instead of like restriction. And so I, did a lot of research, and I calculated my protein, fat, and carbs that I needed. It worked, and I know that tracking macros is something you got to play with. Like, you have to adjust each part of it to kind of work for your lifestyle. So it's a lot of trial and error. But I just knew something wasn't right. I eat pretty healthy. Okay, in general, I just usually do. I mean, obviously we all have our moments. But I've done these journeys for so long. I've been trying to lose weight and reach my goal weight since I was in college, since I was a freshman. And so I just knew that from the past, something just wasn't right. So it really concerned me. So I stopped tracking, and I reached out to my doctor. And I went in and I got blood work done because, we talked about my everyday life, and I would track with the Lose It app, so I knew all of my food intake, and my doctor would just look at it, and, she would see that I was eating lean meats. I wasn't eating horrible foods, but the scale kept going up for me, and it was so frustrating. So at this point, this is July 2020. Okay, this is a couple months ago. So, from January to July, I was just gaining weight, and I couldn't figure it out. I was really, really down on myself because I had finally started working out every day. I finally just felt like I was in this really good routine, but nothing was happening with it. and it was getting very frustrating. So that's how I decided to reach out to my doctor, and I got blood work done, because obviously there's a lot of things that could be a factor in it. You know, it could be a thyroid. Thyroid's a really big thing. So I got blood work done, and I got some additional like tests in my normal blood work to kind of see a few other things. And I actually really haven't shared this before, but I figured I would just share it in this video. My thyroid is fine. The problem I was having is my leptin levels were like triple the amount that you're supposed to be, which your leptin levels is basically your brain communicating to your fat cells like when you're hungry and when you're not, like when you're full. So basically, in the big picture of it, my metabolism was never kicking in. I was eating a lot and gaining weight because I was overweight, and it just never kicked in. So things have changed since then, because I finally got answers that I needed. I was struggling for so many months, so many tears, so many really frustrating days where I was just giving my all, and then every week I would still be weighing in and nothing was happening, or I was gaining the weight. And so like in April, I reached my highest weight that I've ever been and I've ever seen on the scale. And that was like really shocking to me. So when I went to the doctor in July, I had reached that high weight. I lost like a couple pounds, and then it went back up. And so like July 9th or something was when I had my initial meeting with my doctor. So after we got those answers, I got put on a metabolism boosting pill. So it's not a permanent thing. It's just a temporary it is just a temporary fix to kind of just help kickstart my metabolism. So basically, this medication I'm on, I take it daily, and it literally would just like kick in, and I knew when I was full. So the reason I'm sharing all this is because not everyone's like this. Not everyone has these problems that I do, but I'm not taking a diet pill. I've literally met with my doctor to discuss these things because things just were not right with my body. So I recommend, if you have really big struggles, just talk to your doctor, really. So it was crazy when I first started taking this medication. First off, the side effects in the beginning were really bad. I had horrible migraines all the time, but then I got used to it, thank God. But I got full so fast. I could barely eat food. Not barely eat food, but like, it kind of was shocking to me how much I was overeating, because my body would never tell me to stop. My brain was just really hungry all the time. So it was just crazy when I realized how much food I should be eating at a meal. It was just a really crazy change for me. And so since I was dealing with that change, I stopped tracking food altogether. I don't track macros, I don't track calories, I don't do anything. I kind of just wanted to get into this routine of eating healthy until I was full, and that's it. And then consistently working out. And so far it's worked. I know that maybe someday I'm gonna have to possibly track my food, all of that, because this medication, like I said, is temporary. So to get to my goal weight, you know, things could change. One of the biggest things about the medication I'm currently taking is my doctor would only prescribe it to someone that lives an active lifestyle. Like, it could completely do the opposite for you. If you're just lazy and you're taking this medication, you could gain weight from it. So that was one big thing that motivated me. Like, consistently work out with this and you'll see results. And another thing was my goal weight. For years, I have always just gone based on the chart that says I'm 5'6". I need to be a max weight of 155 for my height. And so that is always, just 155 has always been my goal weight. But I talked to my doctor at the same time, and she was like, think about a time where you felt the most comfortable in your skin. You know, not your driver's license weight, not, you know, what you were in high school. Like, what was just a weight you knew you were very content with. And I gave her a number, and she said, let's have that as your goal. My number is 170 to 175, which is 15 to 20 pounds heavier than what a chart says. And so it was just kind of a relief to talk about, because I've always just been mentally telling myself I have to be 155. I have to. It's the only way. It's the right way. You know, maybe I will be it someday, but like, just talking about it and realizing I don't need to be that weight was really awesome. And I just remember 4 years ago I was 173, and I was at the best that I thought I could be, and I didn't know how I'd ever get to 155, and I don't want that again, you know? I want to be comfortable. I want to be where I feel the most me. And so that is my goal weight, and that's an update on that. I talked to my doctor about it, and I'm super happy with that. So kind of just want to give you like an update of like what has changed. I still got more to say. On April 11th, I weighed in at my heaviest weight, and that was 245.2. Okay? And then when I went to the doctor, I was 241. Okay, so that was like 4 pounds difference. So that was July. And I weighed in yesterday, August 31st. And I currently weigh 225.8. I have lost 19.4 pounds. It's been a crazy, crazy journey, you guys. The year's just been so hard, and I was very frustrated for a really long time. I felt like I was never going to get anywhere, that I was just going to keep gaining weight. And I didn't recognize myself anymore. I was so uncomfortable in my own skin. I didn't want to be in pictures. There's just all these things I was just like not happy with. I obviously still have a long way to go. I have about 55 pounds to lose still. But when I could only lose and gain the same 2 to 3 pounds all year until July, it's amazing to say that I've lost that much weight so far. So one of the main things that I want to share is all the times in the past when I've lost weight, I have hit the 20-pound mark and then I quit, and then I'd gain it back. So this journey is so important to me at this point. I want to hit the 20-pound mark, and I want to keep going. I want to reach my goal. I have a lot of things I want to do. Okay? I'm not letting the 20-pound mark stop me this time. I feel like a lot has changed in the past 2 months of my life. I feel like I just mentally am a whole new person, but also physically, looking at side-by-sides, which I will put some pictures here, I don't even like recognize myself, and it's just 20 pounds. Not just, it's not even 20, it's 19, you know what I mean? But it's just crazy to me what a couple months difference has made. So, I know this video is very long. I was going to talk about my everyday now, but I kind of wanted to give you an update of where my weight loss journey is and everything. So my everyday is still pretty much the same. So I don't track my food, like I said, but I eat only egg whites now. I'm not supposed to eat egg yolks because they're just not good for you in general. Oh, but I will tell you the things that I'm supposed to change in my diet to get my leptin levels down. So things have changed. Believe me, there's no magic pill for these things. It's just a temporary fix, to help me, but I have to put the work in, and I've put a lot of work in. So in order to get my levels back to normal, I basically have had to go low carb. I'm not doing keto. I am just significantly cutting back carbs from my diet. I'm not supposed to eat processed meats or sugar, added sugar. Obviously, I'm human. I'm not completely like being like, no, you can't have this Reese's. I really have just been trying to cut back significantly because it's my body and I need to get it functioning back to normal, because once I can get my levels back to normal, I can live my normal life again, as far as I wouldn't have to take medication, so I've been low carb, but I've still had, it hasn't been, I'm saying I'm not keto because I haven't cut everything out. I eat bread occasionally, I eat potatoes occasionally, but I really don't eat a lot of carbs. And also a big thing was cutting back on alcohol, which I've never really been one to drink a lot, but I have drank more this past month than I planned, but it didn't become this horrible habit where I was binge drinking, but I definitely am planning to cut back even more in September. So yeah, that is like the biggest thing as far as my diet goes. Processed meats, so like I can no longer have ham. A lot of lunch meat is processed. You really just have to read packages, but I'm not like crazy strict about that. Like, I'd rather not eat carbs than the processed meat part of it. Like, if I occasionally have a ham sandwich, it's not the end of the world. Or like some chicken sausages and stuff like that are processed. It really just depends, but it's not something I'm super strict about. But I'm kind of like adjusting to this new life of eating different things and eating way less than I did before. So yeah, like basically I still meal prep for the week. I haven't filmed them obviously, but I plan out my weeks in advance and I will do that and stick to it. I usually eat an egg scramble for breakfast every day. So it's usually egg whites, peppers, onions, and whatever veggies I have on hand, and salsa. But obviously you get tired of the same thing, so I do switch it up and I have like oatmeal occasionally. So that's a lot. I've been trying to eat more protein, and also just lean meats is like the big thing to focus on, which I've always been a lean meat eating person. That's a weird sentence, but I've never really been one to eat red meat. I mean, I do like steak, but it's not something I have. It's an occasional thing. So I really am trying not to be too strict, but know that I have to do these things to get my body back to normal. So that's really my everyday. I don't snack typically, and if I do, it's like popcorn. So it's not really that exciting, but in case you're curious, the things I had to change in my diet and what I've done to lose the weight, that is it. I have worked out a lot of strength training and HIIT exercises. I share those on my Instagram all the time, so please follow Magnificent Choices. You'll see those on my story. This video is very long and I apologize, but I know a lot of people wanted to know what has changed in my daily life since I quit WW, and a lot has. I've finally gotten the answers that I needed, and I have a long way to go in this journey, but I'm taking it one day at a time. One day at a time. I still do weigh in weekly on Fridays, but I don't film it. I feel much better not filming it, but I do post it on my Instagram. So if you're ever curious about that, please follow my Instagram or my Facebook. I actually do share it on my Facebook. And it's the same thing. It's Magnificent Choices on Facebook. That's a new thing. I got a Facebook page maybe 2 months ago. So there's that. But that's really it, you guys. It's really long. I don't want to keep dragging this on. If you want more of a day in the life of me, let me know, and I can definitely bring you along, vlog style, whatever. If there's any food things you would like, let me know. I am getting the new Skinny Taste meal prep cookbook. It comes out in 2 weeks, and I'm very excited, so that is probably coming. So yeah, that is it. Thank you for listening to me rant for a long time, a ridiculous amount of time. If you have not subscribed already, please do, and I will see you in my next video. Bye! I don't remember my train of thought. I literally don't remember what I was going to say. So, on January,